Welcome to Data Access Golf, your home for rapid golf improvement. And now, from the thin air of the Rocky Mountains, next on the number one tee, your host, Aaron Stewart.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Data Access Golf. My name is Aaron Stewart. Happy to have you here with us. Appreciate all the new follows and appreciate how it's starting to grow a little bit, starting to catch on. So I've been thinking about today's discussion, and I actually talked to a buddy of mine, and my buddy's name is Thane. And Thane is the guy that actually introduced me to Fred Shoemaker and Extraordinary Golf and kind of the whole, this paradigm shift in my mind of what golf was about and what it could be about, I guess is the best way to put it. And so he and I have kind of, it's been, how old's my oldest now? Our oldest is 19 right now. So Thane and I have been probably hanging out the last 10, 12 years, somewhere in there. But Thane is salt of the earth. He's just a good guy. He's got long hair, kind of a surfer dude look. He's based on all the steel in his arm. He's not a very good skateboarder, although he will tell you differently. So he's just a great guy, and we have pretty interesting conversations on the golf course. He's the one that introduced me to playing a hole of golf completely, silently, just without speaking, nothing, which I wasn't in really the best of places for that kind of, exploratory place. And so that probably didn't go over as well as it would now. I like to try all kinds of different things now on the golf course. And so that would be, I probably should try that. So he was telling me the other day that he and a buddy of him played a few holes with their eyes closed, which I've never done that, but that would be interesting to try. So he's just a guy, sort of a free spirit. He'll give you the shirt off his back, like literally, which is awkward. But no, he's just a super great guy. And so I was talking to him. I said, hey, bud, I kind of launched a podcast. You're kind of in it sometimes, so you might want to listen to it. And if you're uncomfortable with anything, just let me know. We'll go take care of it. So he listened to a couple and hasn't got back with me on that. So I'll need to follow up on that. But I said, hey, is there anything that we've discussed? Is there anything that we've talked about that was interesting to you? Because I got to come up with topics for this podcast. I got to keep this thing going. So is there anything out there that you thought was pretty interesting? And he reminded me of a conversation that we had about creativity and about the golf swing and about hitting really good shots and why that all, why that's all awesome and why that feels so good. And I remember the conversation as he reminded me in it. So I kind of wanted to dive in there, and you kind of see of the topic of the podcast is we create. So part of what we're doing, and I think part of why golf is so amazing and why we all love it so much, is because when we get out there, it is such a complicated movement that we somehow or another try to control, which is not the way to do it, but we're somehow or another trying to become better than we are, and we're out there to have some fun, and we're out there to hit really good golf shots, and we're out there to score well, and we're out there to be with good friends and to enjoy the scenery. There's just a myriad of things that makes golf awesome. And one of the most incredible things about golf is when you hit a really pure shot. And just me saying that, I know all of you kind of just, right? You kind of got that sort of like, feeling, right? Where it just is like, oh, that was pure. When you just hit one that's just dead perfect. And I don't just mean the contact either. I mean the takeaway, how your grip feels when it gets to the top and the tempo, and you come back in and boom, and as you're rolling up in your follow through and putting your toe on the ground, and you're kind of sitting there, and you know that everything about that swing was dead on, as close to perfect as it could be. And to look up and see the ball going exactly where you wanted it to go, and if you're a data access golfer, exactly where you knew it was going. And just the overwhelming feeling of that it's unbelievable. It's indescribable. And to people who don't play golf, who are missing out on that, shame on them. That's a part of life that if you don't have that part of life, you are missing out on a great big bunch of what this life has to offer. And it's just cool that golf can provide that. So we began to talk about, why is that so good? Why does a good golf shot feel so good? And it's on all levels, right? It's like a spiritual experience. It's mentally pleasing. It's physically pleasing. It's emotionally pleasing. It's just so good all the way through from A to Z, top to bottom. It just feels great. And so we began discussing about that. And what we kind of came up with in the midst of our discussion, and I throw that out today, is it's because we just created something, right? We created a golf shot. We put everything together and created a golf shot. And as humans, we love to create things. When you can build a home, you can accomplish a project, you can do whatever it is, but as soon as we get done with something and it turns out great, the satisfaction of whatever that was, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's setting your mind to do something and working through it and getting it done and looking at what you've created and saying to yourself, that's awesome. You know what? I killed that. That is such a good feeling. And the more complicated and the more difficult that is, the better you feel. And that's just how we're created. That's just how we function as humans. And so in a golf shot, when you have put together so many different complicated things, that something comes out, and I don't know if we always think of it as something that we create because it lasts a second. But when we put together and create a golf shot that is perfect, it's the same feeling. And it's so complicated and so much effort went into creating that one shot that the satisfaction we feel is just like accomplishing this super difficult task. And I think that we know it. And that's why it feels so great, is that there's something inside us that goes, you know what? You blended everything together, and that is such a complicated thing that we just pulled off that it's just euphoric. We just feel unbelievable. And right? And it's that one good golf shot too that keeps us back for the hundreds of others that are just total stinkers, right? You hit the most expensive shot in golf's the good one, right? Because you know you're going to buy equipment and you're going to be doing everything for the rest of your life to just get another chance at creating something that felt that good and was that awesome. So that kind of became our discussion. And I think that why we want to get better at golf, and there's a lot of different things that come up with that, right? I mean, whether it's status, we want to look good in front of our friends, we love to collect trophies, we love to hang out with our buddies and hit a good one and hear all the, all the trash talk that goes on when you're playing. All of that, right? The beauty of it, the scenery, all of that makes golf awesome. But what pushes us to try to get better is that we chase this concept that we want that to feel that again and again and again. And that feeling that we created something as near to perfect as probably a human can, right? When you hit that perfect golf shot. And so I think that's where we all are, and that's what we're chasing and pursuing. Is going after that perfect golf shot. I absolutely, there's, I don't want to be crass or any of that and don't want to say all the stuff that some guys say when you come to, it's better than this, that, or the other, because it's different. Creating an amazing golf shot is just unbelievably fulfilling. And I don't know if there's really any other sport or activity or anything that fulfills you in the same sort of way, because the action is so quickly over, right? It's such a quick action. It's 1 second, right? 1 second of your life. So it starts and it's over so quickly. But then as you watch the ball take off and fly, you have that time to enjoy what you've created, right? So now you've put together an amazing golf shot and your part of it is now done. And now you get to enjoy what you've created until it lands. And then as you walk down the fairway to whatever that shot ended up being, enjoying that, whether it's alone playing by yourself or with your buddy and talking about it, It's all of that. It's all wrapped up into that. And that's what we chase. And that's why we want to get better at golf. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So I would say part of the passion behind Data Access Golf, the pursuit of that, the pursuit of wanting to get better so I could enjoy being a creator more often, at least being a creator of something that's super cool and felt amazing and just was inexplicably good, kind of pushed me to find ways to get better more efficiently. I don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time. We have to utilize everything that we've got. And what a great day and age to live in, where we have all these devices to help us get better. I think it's a magical time to live because we have all of these opportunities and all of these devices to get better more rapidly. And there's tons coming out all the time. And I probably have every single one of them in this office. And I do not want to even think about how much I've spent on trying to figure out devices that will help me get better and help me get to a place where I can enjoy that type of shot more often, because it's just that, and it's so awesome to chase after those experiences. So I hope that you all feel like you're creators. I hope that you understand that creating an amazing golf shot is a wonderful accomplishment. That is something that we can be super proud of, because it's such a complicated motion that is over so quickly in a game that's so difficult when you're dealing with the elements and everything else that's going on. To accomplish a near perfect golf shot is, I don't know, can you classify it a miracle as far as humans go? Because it's pretty darn near close for what we have to do down here, for what we have to do, on this earth, right? And figuring that out. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I hope that you see yourselves as creators. You are. And then we're going to work together on making sure that we can create as good a shot as we possibly can, as often as we possibly can, so we all can enjoy the euphoria of those types of shots. So that's it for today. Be creators. Think of yourself as creators, and let's go out and hit some really good golf shots. And remember, in closing, better data always means better golf. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Data Access Golf with Aaron Stewart. Check us out online at dataaccessgolf.com, and we'll see you on the next episode.